Welcome to what will probably be our last recorded Saturday night happy hour. Because we leave in 2 weeks to head down to Yuma, and so next weekend it might not be nice enough, I don't think, but we've got to put all this stuff out here that you see away. We still have to set up for when we had company last week. But see, otherwise everything's the same. If you want to get one last look before we leave. Now there was a little baby blanket down there on the grass all week that kept moving during the night. I haven't captured or figured out what it is that keeps moving it. So I moved it back under the bushes because I don't want the guy who mows our lawn to throw it out or something. It belongs to somebody. So one of these nights I'm going to put my camera out here when I know for sure it's not going to rain and try to capture it. So you can see the food's out there. There's some catnip sprinkled around. I put more food over in the bushes over here. You can see that stuff on there. That's all bird food, bird seed. So we'll see if anybody comes tonight. If it be anybody, it would probably just be Smokey because everybody's gone. So I'm not sure if this will be a very exciting week, but I'll play it again during the night just in case we get some active. Oops, I just heard a voice. So I'll get off for now and I'll come back on when Smokey shows up. Hi, Smokey. You heard me calling you, huh, babe? Oh, he's such a nice boy. Yeah, he's our bud. Okay, I put some catnip out for you and food. And oh, there's Callie. Oh, now he's discovered the catnip. Here he goes. Here he goes. We've also been seeing several little birds have been sitting like on the fence, and that bluebird that I posted a short on, he's flowing through here. Now I Googled the bluebird because a couple of people responded saying they thought it might be called a stellar jay, which looks very similar to a regular blue jay. And I was reading that birds, they get to recognize your voice, they remember your voice and your face and stuff if you've given them food. So maybe that's why they're starting to hang around more. Because I've just been emptying big globs of it out of the bag on the ground because they didn't seem to like the little house. And also today, I saw a squirrel came back and was in the backyard eating with the birds. But I couldn't get a picture of it. It came, it's very wise, the fact that I was looking at it and had the camera out. And it took off back down the yard and went back in behind the bushes. But so how have you been, Smokey? He already came by earlier. He was here for breakfast this morning and then around 9:30 for his break time because, he puts in, both cats looked over at the bird. He puts in quite a long day. He's got his break times. But he seems to be coming around more now that the brothers are gone because he used to have to worry about getting in little spats with them. And Bob also saw Smokey's roommate, Pumpkin, out here today, but Pumpkin's still so afraid of us. I was hoping this summer that he would get used to us, but still hasn't. What you gonna do, Smoke? Roll around in more catnip? Ooh, look at Callie's weighing that little butt. Little slut. I forgot to mention earlier, I'm having look at her, a Bailey's and vodka drink concoction that Bob made. And he's having a Diet Coke and rum because we're out of my Kahlua, we're out of vodka. He just finished up. We had enough vodka to have a couple of drinks here for me. And the amaretto, and those are the three main things I like to drink. So we're going to have to pick some of those up either on our way down on the highway or pay the high prices here in Washington, which I hate to do. Because on the way down, when we stop at the campgrounds, I like to, Bob always likes to have a beer after he's set us all up. And I like to have, one right I can't talk. One white Russian. Oh, Mr. Smokey, Mr. Smokey, we're gonna miss you, bud. Yeah, yeah. If you were an indoor cat, we wouldn't even know you. I was gonna say you could come down, ask your parents if you could come down for the winter with us, but you can't be outside in Yuma. Too many coyotes and raccoons. I mean, he can handle the few that are around here, the few raccoons. Boy, that Callie's getting all excited. Oh, yeah. Oh, Callie, look at that man rolling around. Oh. Ooh. Okay, you gonna go back now? Huh? Okay. I can see his feet moving under there. He's probably stopping on one of the pads I put down on the rocks. Oh, he's heading back down towards the front of the yard. So if he comes back in yep, I just saw his body go by. I'll bring it back on. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock, and Mr. Smokey just dropped back by. Now, when he was on before, he had left, and he went towards the front of the house to go on his rounds somewhere else. And then he came back behind me from the other side of the house that he never used to come through before. But I think now that the bros, the two brothers are gone, that's become Smokey's territory because that was kind of their territory. But of course, did you notice how Sally Cuckoo came slinking up here once he appeared? So this is the second time he's come back from going up front, which is probably the last time. Had to get some food. But when he came through earlier, after being gone about 20 minutes, he still had catnip all over him. I figured he was probably going out trying to pick up on other gals and figured that having the catnip on would make him smell enticing. So what'd you do while you were gone, Smokey? We're going to miss him all summer. And what's funny is when we're coming back home from Yuma, the whole trip home, we're anxious to see the kids in the backyard. But they sure will only have Smokey. Smokey, while we're gone, you're going to have to round up some new kitties to come around. Start talking to Pumpkin and convince him that we're okay. Tell me he's a wuss. Because you've been coming here for a couple of years. Who is that, Callie? Is that Mr. Smokey Groot? Groot! He looked up when I said Groot. Well, you have to walk back behind me because AJ's not going to come up. Look at her. She's frozen up there against the screen. Look at her. She is so funny. He's looking at her saying, "What is your problem?" Whoop, there she goes, start hitting at it. It's funny how she gets kind of feisty when it comes to Smokey. Well, since Smokey was here last, we turned the fire on. Our legs are just getting a little cold. We are still in shorts here because it was a beautiful day out. Oh, he's going back behind me. Let's see, where is he going to go? But, oh, here he is. Where you going, Smoke? Oh, he's going to come back and let Bob pet him. Maybe. Smokey, where are you? There, he's back behind the other side of the propane tank. What you doing, bud? Can you tell that we like cats? Now, of course, on our trip, we'll be watching for cats, and a lot of times when we pull into some of the campgrounds, there are some stray cats moving around, that have been left because maybe they got loose and their parents couldn't find them before they had to leave. It's a Smokey boy. Where'd he go? I have to keep moving around. You can sit on the chair, Smokey. Smokey. There he goes, checking everything out. He's such a neat kid. Smokey. You gonna go back in the bushes? You can't see him, but he's kind of hidden behind the the round thing that goes over the fire pit. Smokey, okay, we will let him go off and have his little private fun. But I'll come back on before we go inside. He came back. Smoke. Smokey, where you going, bud? I know you're not used to going down there. This isn't making you guys dizzy. I'm trying to turn. Smokey? Smokey, do you know who pulls that little blankie out at night? I have a sneaky suspicion it might be a raccoon or a possum. But sometime before we leave, I'm going to move these little lanterns we have here up that way, maybe light it up a little more, and place my tripod and my camera outside here. That's if the blanket appears back out on the lawn again. Because, like I say, I swished it back into the... Smokey, why don't you come up here, honey, and sit on one of the lounge chairs? Huh? Come on. He's looking at me in case you can't tell. Smokey. We only have a couple of more weeks with you, Smokey. Here he comes. Here comes my bud. Oh, there he goes. Ooh, here he is. He's a big cat. I bet he weighs at least 18 pounds. Because he looks about the size that Bailey was. And our Bailey was 18 pounds at his peak performance. Smokey, why don't you sit up on the couch or something? Come on, here's my hand. Oh. Oh, I'll tell you, that sweetheart. I'm only on my second drink, and same with Bob, so, we're doing pretty good tonight. Not feeling it too bad. Where you going, bud? I can't see you. Well, I'll come back on if he comes back. Well, it's now 8:30, and guess who just walked back up here? I am really surprised. Smokey, you've made one of our last Saturday night happy hours a pleasure. He just kind of walked up behind me, and Bob says, look who's here. He never comes from that way. I mean, I was always looking back that way for AJ or Zandu. And now Smokey's. I thought I heard you going up the fence earlier, bud. We have such an exciting social life up here. But at least you know if animals like you, they like you. They're not being phony. Not that any of the people we know are phony, I'm just saying. We have more friends when we go down to Yuma because we're around a lot more people of our age group. What you doing, Smoke? Smokey, Smoke. See, I mean, it's dark out. I love it when it's like this. Oh, he's leaving again. There he goes. Where you going, Smoke? You gonna go home this time? Let's see where he goes. He'll show up over there, beyond that table. There he goes. There he goes. Smokey, you can tell the raccoons they can come out now. I don't know if he'll end up back behind Bob. See, I just love it when it's dark out and all these lights are lit. The ambiance. We're just sitting here talking about, our move that we're going to be making to Yuma because we bought a house this year. We're not going to be living in a motorhome anymore down there. Well, can you hear the noise? He's going up the fence. Good night, Smoke. Now, probably when I set up the camera, we keep hearing weird noises, camera, to see who comes during the night. You might see Smokey, but you might see the raccoons. We'll see.